that I'm now going to talk about for the rest of the remainder of the talk. The name of the organization that I've started is Tamkeen Solutions. It's a college, it's a center for learning. And the context of learning is being a shepherd. So I'm also a shepherd. I manage sheep flock. I try and grow sheep. I do this in partnership with communities who live in villages. But before I explain to you the entire paradigm, since I'm addressing urban audiences, all of us, most of us, many of us, spend money on purchasing sheep and goat for Bakri. Please raise your hands. How many of us do that? Raise your hands clearly so that I can. Okay, right. Significant numbers. Can we guess how much we spend in India on purchasing sheep and goat for Bakri? Huh?
10,000 to anything.
Yeah?
10,000 to anything.
10,000?
To anything.
To anything. No, I want as an ummah, how much do we spend? Not individually. As an ummah. Huh?
Billion.
Million? So give me a number in crores. 5 crores, 10 crores, 100 crores, 1,000 crores, some number. Huh? 20,000 crores. Alright, that's very ambitious, inshallah. We spend about 6,000 crores. Approximately about 20% of that is profit. And how do we spend this money? It's our money, hard-earned money. How do we spend this money? How do you purchase your sheep and goats? You go to a market. When do you go to a market? Huh? A day before or 2 days before? Right? If you want to have some relationship with the goat or sheep, you'll go 2 days before, or 3 days before, or a week before. But in the last few days, right? That's when we go and actually transact and get our sheep home. And we're spending about 6,000 crores. 20% of that is profit. That means about 1,200 crores of profit is getting generated out of our money. Most of it does not come back into our economy. It goes outside of our economy. And we keep, of course, we work again for another year, generate this money, and we spend it again, and it goes out of our economy again, and so on and so forth. And there is a need for research institutions in our ummah. There is hardly any work done on the book that has been given to us. Hardly any meaningful work. What is Allah Ta'ala talking to us? What are the various things that can be discovered in this book? What is Seerat explaining to us, helping us learn? These are the kind of research that we need to do. We need educational institutions. We've already got a 1,000 school program going. And we have visions of these kind. And these kind of visions take money. They take investments. Where is that money going to come from? These are the questions that I will inshallah answer in the rest of the day. Rest of my time with you. So I come to people like you who are spending on sheep and goat, and I make a request to you. I say, instead of buying your sheep and goat 2 or 3 days before Bakri, can I please request you to make that investment 3 days after Bakri? Of course, when I ask you 3 days after Bakri, you will say, why 3 days after Bakri? But my time for making this lottery is gone. 3 days after Bakri for the next Bakri. Right? So you buy your sheep and goat not 3 days before, 1 year before. When you make that purchase with Tamkeen Solutions, we do something fantastic with it. Right? A, we give you a discount of up to about 15%. So it's a good deal for all the customers of Tamkeen Solutions if you buy 1 year before. And it's a sliding scale, so if you buy 3 months before, you will get only 5% discount. So you are getting this discount, and you are also getting the possibility of being a partner in Sawab-e-Jariyah, inshallah. How do you get Sawab-e-Jariyah? We take this money and we go into villages and we enroll poor Muslim Ummah into a network. We grow our sheep in partnership with them. We identify youth who are without jobs, people in the age group of 15 to 25, and if they are without job, and if they are without skill, and if they do not have an education, and they don't know what to do with themselves, they are welcome into Tamkeen Solutions. What is in it for them? They will get a means of livelihood. We'll give them sheep to grow. And if they are consistently with us for a duration of 1.5 years, they are likely to have a monthly income of about 6,000 rupees at the very least. And from 6,000 rupees onwards, they can earn up to any amount. That depends on how much they are committed to growing themselves and developing themselves and applying themselves. For this to happen, they have to join our college, our Center for Learning. The first condition to be a part of our Center for Learning is you should be a halqa. You should be a group of 10. Once you are a halqa, we are willing to give you sheep to grow. You will get to start with at least 10 sheep per person, which means one halqa will get 100 sheep. And everything that is spent on this sheep, including the price of this sheep, is paid by Complete Solutions. So you do not have to spend even a penny from your pocket. What you are expected to do is take care of this sheep. Look after them, feed them, if they are unwell, tend to them. And then, not only that, the second condition is that you should be a part of our learning system, which means you should come for all the classes regularly. We have 5 pillars of our learning system. The central pillar is Iman, which means even if you are unlettered, you learn how to read. You learn to read Quran, and you learn to read Quran in a way that you are able to understand. And everything that you understand, you implement in your life. And I will do that with myself, and everybody who works with me does that too. Iman comes, trusteeship comes. So our customer sheep is a trust. It's amana. It will go back to our customers. Second is self, khudi. Sharpen ourselves, develop ourselves, improve our competence, our abilities, our skill. Where do we learn that from? The core syllabus is again Quran, Seerah, Hadith, and then everything else. Wisdom, if it is in China, from China. If it is in any other book, from those books. Develop self, second pillar. Third pillar, understand the principles of building healthy families. Families in two contexts. One, can I have some more, please? Family in two contexts. One, the family that you belong to. Two, your halqa. That's also a family. What are the principles of building healthy families? Third pillar, you belong to a community. You are in a village. What are the principles of building healthy communities? How do you bring about development? How do you remove poverty? What are the principles of that? Fourth, sorry. And then fifth, lastly, is the livelihood context. Today it is sheep. It will go on to include many crafts. You can learn pot making, you can learn tailoring, you can learn carpentry, you can learn welding, you can learn car making, you can learn anything. And practically by doing that. So these are the 5 pillars. If you participate in these 5 pillars of learning with us, then 40% of the profit that gets generated on every sheep belongs to you. 20% of the profit that is generated belongs to education, investment in education. 40% of the profit is retained by the enterprise. In this way, I believe we will be able to fulfill the dream of establishing model Islamic villages. We are all meant to, especially us, those who are lettered, educated, and understand a little bit of Tawheed, work for Iqamat Deen. Establish Deen, starting with oneself. Establish Deen on oneself, in oneself. And then in our communities, if each of the schools that we are talking about, or the village that I am talking about, or the slum, etc., etc., if there is one small community in which the people get firmly established, Kamil Iman, and they become living examples of the book that we talk about. Otherwise, we are just pointing to the shelf or to the library. We are not pointing to ourselves. What works is role model. That's established from the Seerah. So if we can develop small villages where there are role models of Islam, then that village will impact a mandal. That mandal will impact a district. That district will impact the state. That state will impact the nation. That nation will impact the globe. That to me is the leadership that is needed. And I've started this journey 1 year into it. There is a lot of work. For example, when I talk of 5 pillars, what are Allah Ta'ala's commandments for developing self? What can be gleaned from the Seerah or from the Hadith for developing oneself? What are the commandments to build family? What are the commandments to build communities? This is all research that must be conducted, curriculum that must be put into place and implemented. So I call for partnership. I call for collaboration, I call for support, I call for joining hands. This is a journey that has started. Please join, and inshallah one day we will have a nation that is Islam.